One of the main factors in determining a successful student-tutor relationship is the rapport that you develop with your student. When you first meet with your student, ask the mom beforehand what he's interested in. For example, if you're tutoring Ethan and his parent has mentioned that he loves baseball, you might start out with a non-academic question. Instead of jumping into math, you may say, "Hey, did you see that Nationals game last night?" When you start tutoring with your student, you're always going to want to remember to define the objectives at the beginning of each session. Kids like to know what you have in mind for them, and the best way to do this is to write down your tutoring objectives. Have a whiteboard handy. Visual reminders are far superior to verbal ones. So you may say to your student, "Okay, today we're going to do the following things. We're going to work on your homework, make a study plan for an upcoming test, and create a study guide." But enlist his perspective as well. You may want to say, "What would you like to do first?" In addition, sometimes even our best laid plans can go awry. You may find that having a backup plan is always a good idea. For a little guy like Ethan, having a Sports Illustrated for Kids in your bag is a great idea. So if your plans don't quite work out, you can always pull out something that's high interest. Another idea is Guinness Book of World Records. All kids like these. Or having a deck of cards to play multiplication war. For older students that report they have no homework, I recommend checking Blackboard. You can often find assignments that need to be done, or work that the student can get ahead on, like a book report, a research paper, or even a test they can study for. You may also want to have a list of websites at your fingertips that you can access for additional practice. One of my favorite ones for SOL review is Jefferson Lab. You can find a list of great websites for your students on our site, ectutoring.com. Just click on the resources section. You know, many students come to us with feelings of self-doubt and negativity surrounding academics. They may hear from their parents, "You're just as smart as your brother. Why can't you do a good job like him?" Or, "If you would only try harder, you could do better in school." My feeling is that we have the power to change that mindset with our students. With your 1 or 2 hours of tutoring each week, you can change these feelings of self-doubt into feelings of triumph. My goal is for every student to leave that session feeling empowered. But sometimes this may be tricky when you're dealing with students feeling down. You can change their feelings of frustration into feelings of hope. Take a look at these next few interactions and see if you can figure out how Jackie, the tutor, changed her students' perceptions of academics around to make her feel hopeful again.
I can't do this. It's too hard.
I know, Erin, these are really hard. It's okay. Let's break these down one at a time. We're going to get through this together.
Okay.
When a child says, "I can't do this," it's human nature for the adult to say, "Oh, yes, you can. You did it on Tuesday." But by saying that, it tells the child that we really don't understand their struggles. Jackie handled this scenario really well. Instead of saying, "Yes, you can," she said, "I know this is hard for you." She empathized with the student. And this approach can really help improve resiliency and turn kids around in a tutoring session.
Huh? I totally don't get this. This doesn't make any sense.
You know, Erin, this part is confusing for a lot of my students. Why don't we go back to the very beginning? Let me break this down a little bit more for you.
Okay.
In this situation, Jackie could have said, "What don't you understand?" But honestly, the kids really don't know what they don't understand. But she handled it well. She said, "You know what? This is hard for a number of my students. Let's back up." That's the right approach. Sometimes when you can relate your child's struggles to another student you work with, the student suddenly feels that they're not the only one in that predicament. And this in itself can make a student feel better and, again, change the dynamics of the session.
Jackie, look at all this stuff I have to do. And the Odyssey, I have to read 100 pages by Monday. I'm so stressed out.
You know, Erin, you're right. You do have a lot on your plate right now. You know, often when someone has 100 pages or a large assignment that they have to accomplish, it's a lot less daunting if we put it on a calendar. Let's take a look at this. How about if we take your 100-page assignment and we break it down every single day to make this a little bit easier and less stressful for you?
Okay.
You know, living here in the DC metro area, a lot of our students feel stressed out. It's certainly not uncommon. They often feel stressed because they do have a lot of work to do and they see it as an unsurmountable mountain to climb. But you as a tutor can break these big tasks down with them to make it seem a lot more attainable. Jackie did a great job of this. She said, you know what, you really do have a lot on your plate. Again, she empathized with her student, Erin, and she took the time to break out these larger tasks onto a calendar so that Erin could see that it wasn't so daunting after all. I hope you found these videos to be helpful. Remember, you have the power to teach, to motivate, and to instill confidence in every student with whom you work. So go forth with confidence and determination. Should you have any questions about your students or would like support in any way, please feel free to contact us here in the office. Again, welcome to our team at Educational Connections.